Hey guys, I'm Emily Drolshagen, and I'm here today to talk to you about essential oils for your children and babies. So we had to be in front of the pictures of my two girls. They would not be here without essential oils, and I'm so grateful to have them both. So the first thing you ought to know when you're using oils on infants or children is we need to talk about dilution. When, let's say an adult weighs somewhere between 150 and 200 pounds, and that adult needs one drop of a certain oil, right? Well, let's say we have a 20-pound baby. 200 pounds, 20 pounds, right? They're much smaller and their skin is a lot more sensitive. So we need to dilute that oil about 10 times. So you do about 1 drop of essential oil to 10 drops, I almost said 10 pounds, 10 drops of carrier oil, and that's about how much would be appropriate for a 20-pound child. Now for a 50-pound child, that would be about 1/4 of what an adult needs. And so you would use 4 times the carrier oil to 1 drop of essential oil. Now, how much oil you need kind of depends on what oil it is. Now, you probably know by now that oregano is a little spicy, right? It takes off warts, it takes off several layers of skin. So for an adult, we heavily dilute oregano. If you look on the side of bottles, it says dilute heavily, skin sensitivity warnings for some of the spicier ones. Or if you look in your reference book. So whatever it says for an adult, just dilute it by weight times how much smaller the child is. And that's a good way to go. Now I have to say, my kids get sick at 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know about you, but it's something about 2 a.m. where the puking or the coughing starts. So one of my favorite products from doTERRA is they actually have pre-diluted roller bottles. So these are already diluted properly for children, for pregnant women, and for elderly people. So I like this at 2 a.m. when I grab my kid and I just swiping. I don't have to worry about dripping, dropping, back and forth. So get yourself a touch kit, and I keep one in my purse and a couple on my nightstand. But I like these. One of the oils I like the most from the touch kit is actually On Guard, because my kids kind of pretty high energy. So I can tackle them down, swipe their feet with the roller bottle, and then they're free to be free-range children again. On Guard is a great one to support their immune system. So we can use it when we're going somewhere germy. I put it on their feet before we go to church or a play date, a school or museum or something like that. So another thing to consider when using oils on children. So aromatic, topical, and internal use. So we use oils internally as an adult when we're working on something in our whole body system, right? So with children, there's not really a good way to get them to ingest an essential oil, and they're very strong. It's probably more than they need, all that kind of thing. Put it on their feet. And if they don't want to smell like anything, put it on their feet, put their socks on, and then they can go to school, and they're not going to smell like flowers or mint or whatever. I know kids at certain ages get self-conscious. Put their socks on, and they'll be fine. One of the oils I want to talk about is a little strong for my kiddos, and I've got a solution for that, and that is Breathe. Breathe is pretty strong. Now we use the diluted roller bottle, but I don't know if you guys know, we have this awesome Breathe stick. It's like a large chapstick. It's an all-natural base, so it's like Vicks, only actually good for you. But they just pop the top and screw it up and draw it on their chest. We actually leave this in my 4 or 5-year-old's room when she's not feeling well, and she is responsible enough to do it herself. Now I'm going to share with you some of the oils you might not have, but cardamom is actually my most favorite oil for respiratory issues. I wish we had smell-o-vision, you guys. Oh, cardamom is one of my most favorite smelling oils, and what's great is that it has respiratory and digestive properties. So I prefer to use this one on my children rather than Digestin or Breathe, because they're just very minty. So try cardamom. It's really great in a bath where they're having a respiratory struggle, because getting in a bath of Breathe might burn their skin a little. So put some coconut oil, some Epsom salts, and maybe a drop or 2 of cardamom, and it'll make a heavenly smell, and it won't be so sensitizing for their skin. Here's another secret. Okay, I love to swim, and I grew up having all sorts of ear infections. If your kids have ear infections from swimming, you have to try basil oil. Basil is one of the best for ear infections. Now, what you don't want to do, you don't drop oils directly into the ear canal. Okay, I hope you all know you don't put them in your ears, up your nose, or in your eyes. We'll come back to eyes in a second. But don't put them in your ear. Here's what I do. I usually take my bottle, get a little bit, and then I apply it around the outside of my ear right here, or on my child. And then inside this little area, you can rub it into the earlobe, down the back of the ear, and down where it drains. Melaleuca also works, but basil works the best. Now we're talking about oils in the eyes. That I think that came up out of fate because kids get oils in their eyes sometimes and it really burns. Now you probably already know you need to use a carrier oil, not water, to get it out because oil and water separate and it will make the eye burn longer and deeper, speaking from experience. So here's my favorite secret ninja trick. I take my kid, I put them in the bathtub, I pin their arms with my legs. You might have older kids who are gonna cooperate, but mine wiggle and are gonna rub it all and make it worse. I pin their legs, put them in the bathtub. I take 2 handfuls of coconut oil, the solid kind. It's solid at room temperature. It's like the cooking oil. And I hold it on their eyes like this, just like we're playing peekaboo. And I'm like, oh, spicy eyes peekaboo. Oh, spicy eyes peekaboo. And I just make them blink it out. And as it melts into their eyes, it will help the essential oil run out of their eyes. And coconut oil doesn't burn. So that's my secret way of getting oils out of your kids' eyes. It's kind of sad that I know that, but somebody has to learn the hard way. Now you don't have to. Okay, so we talked about that. Let's see. Serenity. Now you probably have lavender. Now if you have super active kids like mine, you'll be glad you have Serenity. I feel like this is a lot more settling and calming than lavender. This works better for some people for sleep. So what one of my friends does is she made like a bedtime routine with her son where she takes a little bit and she draws lines around his face and she says it's his magic potion and it helps him pick his dreams that night. I just thought that was so cute. And now he's like, Mom, you forgot my magic potion. So you can get your kids to buy in a little better. But definitely try Serenity if lavender isn't quite getting your kids to chill out. I want to talk about, this is my #1 most favorite oil for babies and infants, very young babies. This is good for older kids too. This is Roman chamomile. Now, what I love about it is it has a very mild smell. It's very soothing on the skin, but it's basically good for everything that babies struggle with. Diaper rash, teething, gassiness, fussiness, settling down, sleep. I don't know what it isn't good for. I've used this oil on my first child had colic, which is where they scream 24/7 and they have this kind of continual stomach ache. And I have another child with a sensory issue. So we have had a lot of success with Roman chamomile. If you don't have it, get it. And what I like to do is make a diluted roller bottle and give that as baby shower gifts. So you just share a little bit of yours because they will thank you at 2 a.m. when their baby is screaming. Okay, this one is probably one for a little older child. So we talk about in tune when we see kids having trouble focusing in school or church or just really high energy. My kids are in that category. So in tune is a very grounding, settling. It's called the Focus Blend for a reason. I put it on myself or my husband when we're kind of going all over the place. This smells a lot like sandalwood. This is one to consider if your child has had struggles in school with focus. If you don't want to smell like anything at school, hang on a second. Sorry about that. Somebody came to the door. So the last oil I wanted to talk about, this, if you don't buy anything else, you need this as a mom, okay? This is Helichrysum Oil. This is the one you probably have never heard of. It smells kind of earthy, kind of like a tree, okay? But this is the oil of blood, bleeding, and pain, which happens a lot when you have kids. This is when your kid runs into the corner of the counter for the 100th time, bashes open their lip, and there's blood everywhere. I put Helichrysum on their lip, and then I give them a popsicle because it doesn't taste very good, but it is edible. So this is a great oil for those really, really bad owies or adding to your owie spray if you already make that. My daughter, when she was 2 years old, she broke through a window well cover and fell in our window well. And she cut open her head, and we went and showered her off. We applied Helichrysum, and then we went to the hospital. But as soon as we applied the oil, she stopped crying. And then when they were putting in the stitches, they were like, wow, she's really calm. What did you do? And we were explaining that we used Helichrysum oil on her so that she didn't have as much pain or as much bleeding. Now, the last thing I want to cover is I want to tell you what my kids' favorite thing is, okay? My kids' favorite things from doTERRA are actually the supplements. They love these. So this is their, you know, A, B, C, D, F, G type vitamin, and this is their omegas. It's a chewable and a drinkable, and they are designed to take together. There are essential oils in them. My 5-year-old likes the chewables, and my 2-year-old likes the drinkables, but they do need both. That's kind of part of it. You can add this to your Lifelong Vitality when you order it on Loyalty Rewards for only $20. So think about trying this for your kids. Now, I wonder who opened this, right? My kids got really excited. This is the PB Assist. PB Assist is the children's probiotic, and healthy gut bacteria is something a lot of modern kids struggle with. We don't eat a lot of fermented foods. You know, we eat out. So this is the PB Assist. These are like little powder sachets. I put it in yogurt or applesauce or oatmeal a lot. It says you can just take them straight. I tried that. It's like a really gnarly pixie stick. It's just a little too sweet that way for me, but you can add it to their food. But yeah, my kids get really excited about this. I can't keep them out of it. So if you're finding that your child has some struggles, that the essential oils are not quite touching, maybe try some of these nutritional supplements as well. And then as the body gets better nutrition, it can cope better, and the essential oils are going to start working better, and you can overcome bigger stuff. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video on essential oils for children and babies. Try your Helichrysum and your Roman chamomile. You're not going to regret having cardamom either. But the biggest thing is try these supplements, and try the touch line, whatever kind of fits for the problems and struggles that you're having. But thank you for joining us, and thanks to my oil babies. Love you, girls. Bye.